Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're out here with Arwen again and Shadowfax. But Arwen is doing just fine. She's actually doing fantastic, looking good. And we've been talking about goat health. So today I wanted to talk about how to recognize signs of illness and what to do if you suspect your goat is ill. Okay? So the first thing you need to do is know your goat. Now, I am not a vet, and I do not know everything about illness and disease in goats, but I do know when something is wrong with Arwen, because I know Arwen. So I know that she walks that way with that shuffling step because she's a fainting goat. And she's a little tense right now, so her legs don't work the way a goat's legs would work if she wasn't so tense. And she is a fainting goat, so she does have some natural tenseness in those muscles anyway. So I know that there's nothing wrong with her legs by looking at her because I know her breed, I know what she's like on an everyday basis. I know when she's off. I know when she's sick. I know when she might need a little bit of help because I know her. It's kind of like knowing your own children. You get to know what is normal for your own baby. Okay, you get to know when they might be sick and when they're just being them. So she's just being her. And Shadowfax is right here. Hi, buddy. Mwah, thank you. But don't bite me. But Shadowfax is here. Yeah, hi. But yeah, so I know Arwen. It's like knowing your own child. Okay, you know. Other people may not spot it because they don't know your goat as well. Or some other people might go, is that normal? Yes, it's normal for her because I know her. She's 2.5. I know this goat because I've had her for 2.5 years. So I know when she's off. I know when things are a little bit weird. So what do you do if you suspect your goat is sick? Other than the horse biting your arm. Damn it. Anyway, not the point. So what do you do if you suspect your goat is sick? The first thing you do is isolate your goat from the herd. Get them away from other sheep and goats. Because a lot of things that goats can get, sheep can get, and vice versa. So get them away from the other goats and sheep in the herd. Okay, you absolutely need to make sure that that goat is isolated. Isolate before you do anything. Okay, move the goat to its own pen, whatever. Isolate that goat. Now that you've isolated your goat, what is your first course of action? Assuming you do not know what's going on, you know there's something off, but you don't know what to do about it. Your very best bet is a livestock vet that is experienced with goats. Okay? Give your livestock vet a call. Now, you should already have a relationship with your livestock vet. So you should be able to call them. They will be able to figure out what's wrong and figure out a course of treatment. So there are some serious maladies that goats can get that require the help of a vet. Okay, so don't mess around. If you think your goat is really sick, call the vet. Time matters. Okay, you're better safe than sorry, and goats can go downhill so fast. You can go from a goat where you're like, yeah, maybe she's a little off, to dead in 12 hours. So call your vet as soon as you can. What if you don't have an after-hours emergency vet line? We're lucky enough that my livestock vet answers the phone after hours. He is on call. But there still might be times where he is at a cattle farm. Hi, Shadowfax. There still might be times when my vet is at a cattle farm and he's not going to be able to get to me for a couple hours because other people are having emergencies too. What do you do if your vet can't come right now? If it is an emergency and you need the vet right now and they can't come because they can't drop the emergency they're at to attend to your emergency. It's kind of a first come, first serve. They are at that farm. They have to finish dealing with the emergency that's there. They can't leave a goat in distress or a cow in distress or a pony. Yeah, nobody leaves a pony. Apparently, not even me. Hi, buddy. So, if you can't get your vet out, your next best thing, if you can't get your vet out right now, if you have to wait, is to find another experienced goat owner This person can help you save your goat's life. They should have more experience than you do. Now, you can't just start calling people at 2 a.m. because something's wrong with your goat. You have to have cultivated a relationship with other goat people before this happens. So spend some time cultivating that relationship. Get to know people in your area. Find out who knows about goats. Who's the resident goat expert in your community? Get to know them, make friends with them, have them over for dinner, go over to their home, go to their farm and help out. Cultivate some goodwill so that when something goes terribly wrong with your babies, they will help you. Because you need somebody who can lay eyes and hands on your goat. Okay? Your very last option is posting in those online groups. We've all seen them. We've all seen someone go, help, emergency, I need help with my goat or my chicken or whatever it is. That's really dicey because they don't know your goat. They can only see what pictures you've posted. They can only go by what you say. They don't have their hands or eyes on your goat. There's a pony. There's a pony in the way. So it is really dicey using online groups to diagnose and treat anything. Okay? What you need to make sure you do is take all of that online advice with a grain of salt. And you absolutely, 100% should make sure that you are consulting your vet as soon as possible instead of relying on those online groups. It's a fine place to start, but don't do anything drastic until you've talked to your vet. Even if you have to wait 12, 24 hours, whatever. Maybe you don't even have an emergency livestock vet in your area. Don't do anything drastic based on the advice of an online group where they can't see your goat. They don't know your goat. They can't put their hands on your goat. They should be your last option. Okay? It's not that they're not an option. It's that they're better things like a vet or another really experienced goat person in your area. So if you can, there's Bowser. If you can, try very hard to get an actual person to come and see your goat. Or take your goat to the clinic or whatever you have to do in order to make sure that goat is seen by an actual real live person. Okay? That is so important and you want to make sure that you are doing that. So what can you do in the meantime? Well, one of the things you should do is kind of put yourself together almost a medical library of goat stuff. So that in an emergency, you don't have to go looking for information. Look for the information in advance. Really good sources are university and vet pages. So an actual vet clinic and an actual university, veterinary university, they often have printouts. You can print out PDF prints and then put them in a binder, put them in page protectors, maybe even laminate things. Like if you have a kidding diagram that might get dirty because you're going to haul it out to the barn with you when your goat's in labor, you might want to laminate stuff like that. So definitely put together a binder of medical stuff. You can talk to your vet about it, about what resources they recommend. Your vet may have printouts. Mine did. My vet, when I asked him about that, the next time he came with an entire stack of printouts that I could laminate and put in my binder. So ask your vet. Talk to people who know what they're talking about. Okay, and that will make your life easier if you already have the information at hand. Put it together in a little binder. Keep it somewhere where you know where it is so you don't have to go, oh my God, where's my medical library binder? Because we've all done that one. We've all had the best of intentions, put something together, whether it was a binder or a first aid kit or whatever, and all of a sudden we're freaking out because we don't know where to put it. So put it somewhere logical so you can find it when you need it. And make sure you refer to it before you do anything, because that means you don't have to have all the information stapled to your brain, because that doesn't work. So get yourself a little medical library, put that somewhere where you can find it, use it when you need it. It is something you can refer to while you're waiting for the vet to get around to you. The other thing you want to do is put together a first aid kit. We will talk about first aid kit for goats next week so that you know what you should have on hand, what you can have on hand. And remember, you're probably not going to be able to get antibiotics to put in that first aid kit because you can't get antibiotics without a vet anymore. So this is another reason to cultivate a good relationship with your vet. Okay? Cultivate those relationships. It can save their lives. So with your first aid kit, though, you want both everyday things like gauze and vet wrap, and emergency stuff like electrolytes, Nutri-Drench, things that will save the life of your goat. Okay, make sure it's well stocked. Make sure you do go through that first aid kit once a year or so and discard anything that is expired. Don't use expired materials. It's not good for you to do that, because expired stuff, a lot of times it just means it's weaker, but sometimes it actually means you should not use it. So discard the expired stuff, get new stuff at least once a year. And lastly, in order to ensure your goat's good health, talk to your vet about vaccination. Even if you're going to vaccinate yourself, so you're going to administer the vaccines yourself instead of paying the vet to do it, it really is a good idea to talk to the vet about a good vaccine schedule for your goats in your area, because you don't live where I live. So probably you are going to have a slightly different schedule. You might not even have certain vaccines that I have, and vice versa, just because of what is available in your area. She's fine. She is fine. I swear she's fine. She's just weird. She does this literally every day. I get a lot of comments. Oh, that goat should see a vet. She sees a vet regularly. He's on the farm 4 times a year at minimum. So she's fine. Anyway, you do absolutely want to make sure you talk to your vet about vaccination. There are a couple of vaccines that are so important. You don't want to skip them. And there are some vaccines that are really area specific. You may not even have certain vaccines in your area. I might not have ones that you have. So pay attention to your vet when he's talking about vaccines. Even if you're going to vaccinate yourself, it is good to figure out what vaccines you should be administering and when. You don't want your goat under vaccinated. You also don't want them over vaccinated. So double check with your vet. Make sure you've got the right schedule. Make sure you're not doing it too often, and make sure you are doing it often enough, because either over or under vaccination can cause problems. Anyway, that is about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. We'll see you tomorrow.